It's your boy coming back at you again, Emo Casanova, back at it again to try to win your girl over with my great skills in Warzone. And we're going to be taking a look. I'm just going to be playing a quick match, maybe just one or maybe just a couple. You know what I mean? On this evening here. I do want to say though that I got a lot of things to get off my chest, man. First of all, as the voting day approaches, would like to remind people that if you're gonna vote for somebody, make sure that you know who you're voting for. Don't want to hear no crybabies later. I mean, I will say this: nobody's perfect. But if you want to get lied to indiscriminately, or if you want to get lied to discriminately, then vote for Trump. If you want to get lied to indiscriminately, then vote for whatever other candidate. Just depends, whether you want to get lied to your face and accept it, or whether you want to question it and get lied and then have to, question it later. I mean, either way though, I was thinking about a lot of things, such as, politics and my country. If y'all don't know, I'm from El Salvador. I'm from Houston, Texas, but yeah, no, I'm from Texas. I'm from America, dude. Like, I consider myself an American, and when I say American, I don't mean just North America. I mean North, South, Central, America. You know what I mean? I'm from Central America. My parents are Central American. I was born in North America, but I was born in Texas, which is a whole motherfucking other, shit. And you know what I was dreaming? This is my dream, by the way. Or this is one some of my plans, maybe that I one day maybe. I don't know when, but when I'll have time for this shit. But if I ever get famous, I'm gonna go to Texas and back to where I was born, and in Texas, I'll be having the connection of, you make it in Texas, you make it anywhere, bruh, because Texas is that motherfucking shit. But furthermore, I'll say this though. Not great. Shit, this shit froze. Yep, this shit froze. Texas is big enough to be its own little country. That's why I say that. Texas has a GDP and it has a population of people. If you're an artist, a musician, you want to go to cities like Texas and shit, or states like Texas, because Texas, it's like you can get rich and famous and have a career just by being in that one state. You don't have to go on tour everywhere. You can get rich and fucking on that, just by that one state, bro. And so that's what I mean. And so, like I said though, you know what I mean? Um, like I said, I'd go there, right, and I'd set up shop. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd have all of like Central America and North America. You know what I mean? It's the perfect fucking strategic place to become famous. That's why, and it looks like a star. So I'd be like in the center of like everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like who I am. Like, I think I'm pretty cool. I was born in Houston. I'm from El Salvador blood, and I live in, well, I don't know. I live in Charlotte. It has its own benefits. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? But not really. Nobody thinks they're cool is that cool. They're not. Nobody that's cool as they think, I guess. I don't know. But the point is that what I'm gonna say, you know, while I'm talking about this, like I was saying about immigration and politics. those aren't. I don't really want to get into it, but 'cause this is a gaming channel. But I would talk about that in a different, like in a different platform, not this platform, I guess. Because this platform, it's not about religion or race or or politics. Um, but whatever. I said my little take on that, and you know, that's that, I guess. Come on, bro. Can't you even like, man? Anyway, it's probably like. So I mean, I have a few questions, right? So I mean, I was lied to, and I just want to say these truths, right? Because I was lied to, and I just found out that I've been lied to my entire life. So I watched a video online about this old Nahuatl speaking, Mexican, but not really like the Mexican, more like ancient Mexican indigenous, I would say. Um, More like an indigenous Mexican that that's is part of a tribe, and you know and repping his shit. And it's ironic because now we have technology and all this shit, right? Like, I always knew that the Mayans contributed to technology being around, because the Mayans created the binary, created the binary code, number system of zero and ones, right? That didn't exist previously. Um, but here's the thing, you know, and they're smart, right? They had the Mayan calendar. So, I mean, you know, that we even like, adopted because of its accuracy. It was better than the Gregorian calendar that was being used by the king of King James, that created the Bible and stuff. The reason why is because King James made it a decree to use the calendar, and every like 500 years they had to take off like 10 whole days or some shit, like 10 whole fucking days. You know what I mean? And so it was just a mess. So they adopted the other. They adopted the Mayan calendar because it was more accurate. So what does that mean? That means that the Mayans had better math and were able to equate to a better estimation. You know what I mean? A better calculation, a better estimation with least, which, because math is subjective. There's not an infinite amount of number. It's not like it's not a real integer. And when you're talking about distances that on a cosmic, like, not cosmic, but on a grand scale, like, the solar system or some shit. You know what I mean? That shit it's a rounded number. You know what I'm saying? Like a rounded number, if you will. But like I said though, so they did better calculations. So I don't knock, what I'm saying, the Mayans or the Aztecs or any of that. But what I mean, I do have a lot of questions. What I mean, as to why I've been fucking lied to. So, like, I mean, and how would they know, right? See, what we were taught in school was that there were a bunch of savages. And so when I read that shit too, like, this guy, I gotta meet this guy. I gotta go meet this motherfucker. But he said another lie, right? You ever watched? I was watching the other day, this old movie of the Revolutionary War. Pre uh pre America, North America. how do you say that? You know, before America became a nation, I was watching, you know, movies about the American Indian Wars and all that shit. You know what I mean? And how America came to be. And in those movies, like they would depict obviously the you know, the people as oh shit, the yeah. So like I said, you know, I was watching that shit, right? And the shit that they used to fucking put on there was like, you know, depicting them like savages or whatnot, like, you know, not savages. Actually, they did a good. Some of them do a good portrayal of them, of how the indigenous people actually were, whatnot. But you know, not all. So what I was trying to say, right, is that I got fucking sex. So what I was trying to say is that in that movie, right, it's called The Last of the Mohicans, and in that movie, The Last of the Mohicans, you know, there's a scene where this guy, this like an Indian guy, he goes and hits a soldier, and he knocks it. No, a general. It's one of the generals. Is the dad of the girl, right? And he kills that motherfucker. He rips his heart out, right? You know, it'd be like they'll scalp the skull, the scalp. They'll cut the scalp and like rip off the top of his head, off the skull, you know, the hair, and just rip off all that skin as a pelt, and they take it like like a pelt. You know what I mean? And you know, but in that one, it was like there was a scene where he cuts the heart out of the general, you know, and holds it up and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, so the guy that had this that was this guy that had this that was doing this interview that said that, you know, about he was an indigenous. He said, you know, that's how they depicted the natives, like savages. Like, you know, that you know, that they do shit like that. You know what I mean? They'd eat your heart, you know, like Apocalypto and all that shit. You know what I mean? And then so what it said, right? He said is like, do these people even have, you know, biology degrees, or do they even know anything about biology? And it's like the heart is the most protected organ in your chest cavity, you know, and it's like it's surrounded by bone. You know what I mean? Or cartilage, you know, depending who you are, right? And depending who you are, you know, it's either bone or cartilage, but it's pretty difficult. And in order to have an open heart transplant, open heart procedure, you actually gotta, like, you gotta get a little skill saw and like cut your way in there, right? Then you gotta pry open the ribs and do all this shit, you know what I mean? Just to get to the heart, you know what I mean? And so you can't do that with a knife, you know what I mean? Especially in the middle of a battle, right? So the point is, like, you know, that's what that's what he was like trying to get at. Like, you know, these people are trying to tell you that they cut open this like a chest and they rip out your heart, and your you know, but your ribs are there, your chest is there. You know, the heart is the most, one of the most difficult things to get. I mean, and yet, you know, people, that's how the people describe them as. That's some real crazy shit. You know what I mean? Now, I ain't saying that there were no motherfucking bad Indians and bad people, and that they would have attempted that shit. All I'm saying is that I don't think that they was portrayed correctly, and I don't think that was a norm, because I think they would have known not to do that type of shit. And they ain't stupid. They're hunters too. So anyway, right? I mean, like, you see, that's the type of shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, like, this guy spitting. Let him cook. You know what I mean? And so I started fucking, you know, hearing it more and more, and I was like, man, this guy. And then he dropped another bombshell, which was he said that he said a lot of shit really, but he said that this civilization that was here, the Indians, were here for thousands of years. I mean, they were like it was 1,000-year-old civilization and religion and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? That these people used to think they had the binary code and whatever, and the ancient Mayans and stuff. The way they used to think were like how you say it, like computers. He said they used to think like computers. And I don't know. That's really weird. Like that's really weird for me to think about. They used to think like computers. There's like a civilization of people, and if you look at the ancient hieroglyphs and what's left of their civilization, you know, they had things like that. Like they did believe like they have depictions of things like that. So I don't know. It's just weird. That shit got to me. I was thinking like, wow. And so what happened? Like and I like because we don't have history of Mesopotamia, Mesoamerica, and those things, right? Like I said, we're definitely not even taught those things. You know what I mean? And the things that we're taught are from a certain perspective. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It's just like it's like the quest for knowledge. Never stop learning. You know what I mean? But anyway, then I started thinking like, so when he said that, I was like, 1,000 years old. That means that they probably would have gone through a lot of cycles of bullshit. You know what I mean? Descent from people, society. And that they probably would have stopped giving a fuck about certain shit. You know what I mean? And probably they had bad leaders and good leaders and then bad leaders. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And so maybe I don't know, man. It's just pretty weird to think about. It's fucking weird. Well, anyway, so then, right? Um, I started thinking, why is El Salvador, so far away, and why was it like, why, I'm thinking about the geography of it all, like why, like who conquered what, the history between the people and stuff, the tribes, the languages, just different things, and and yeah, man, like it's just I don't know, it's just really interesting to me. I mean, really interesting to me. And oop, fuck, you got me, boy. So anyway, I started thinking about that shit. I'm like, man, like how the fuck did this happen? But it's like it sucks because here, like I said, you get lied to and shit, and I don't appreciate the lying. And you know, I start thinking about white people in general, like that white people have this thing where like they're sad and shit. You know what I mean? And I wonder why. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just whatever. I don't know, bro. Yeah, like so, when people try to tell me, like, these white people, like Europeans, try to tell me about scientific theory and how they're so better and all this shit, I'm like, dude, The fucking shit was fucking Mayans, bro. You know what I mean? The calendar, the motherfuckers were smarter than you. Like, you know, the whole culture about it, like the stereotyping and shit. You know, that shit really gets on my fucking nerve, bro. I mean, like to think that some people are smarter than other people, and that, you know, not a real appreciation for how human beings are taught. And so the guy, he said that the reason that we're told these things, right, is because people because they want to have a control over. He said a control over people, but I mean, he said he explained it a little bit differently. I mean, he explained it a little bit differently. It's like not just the control over people, but it's like it's for you to think this way, so that you know, so they can stay in charge, basically. You know what I mean? And so they don't know the truth. So people don't know the truth, they become pacified. I mean, truth is knowledge. Truth is power. I mean, and the people that don't want you to know the truth don't want you to have power. I mean, that's basically the truth. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm like, holy shit, the fuck. You know, and so maybe that's why they didn't want to tell us this shit. I mean, I'd be pissed. I mean, I am a little pissed. Damn it, boy. That sounded racist, fuck. Yeah, nah, man, it's all fucked up, bro. The shit that they got us believing here in the United States, bro. That shit's stupid as fuck. And yeah, man, it's like so this like that indigenous person, like, you know, from whatever, you know, I saw what he said. He's like, you know, the people here, the people that were the Native Americans, the Indians, and the people in Mesoamerica and other people, they were strong-hearted people. They were strong. They were warriors. He said that the people that, like, you know, that now this is real talk. He said that the people back in the day that used to war with the Aztecs and the Mayans, they were like mama boys. They were like, you know, soft ass white dudes. You know what I mean? And you know, comparatively to a warrior, a Meso Aztec American, Meso Aztecan, whatever bullshit, you know, warrior. You know what I mean? You know, they were strong. The invaders. They were. It was never a he talks about Hernan Cortez and shit. He talks about Hernan Cortez and shit, and he said that like Hernan Cortez, when he you know, he's the like, who discovered America? Christopher Columbus. No, he didn't discover it. It wasn't un descubrimiento, era un. He said it was an invasion. Yeah, that's what he called it. And it wasn't no conquering. It wasn't no conquesting. Even with the Spanish Inquisition or conquerors, whatever, it wasn't no conquering. It was what it was an invasion. And the way that they did it, which I totally believe this, by the way, was by the way that they did it was by lying and deceit, you know, and betrayal and stealing and robbing, you know, stabbing in the back and shit like that. Like this is what the invaders did. You know what I mean? And they lied about it, you know, and they said it was the conquistadors, and there was no conquering because there was no way that they would have been able to fight the warriors that were here. The guys that were the people that were here were strong-willed people comparatively to the invaders. You know, these fucking the white boys or whatever, the Spaniards and the conquistadors and Hernando Cortez and Christopher Columbus and all the motherfuckers came from there. Those guys were they used to fight with the women. They only used to fight the women and the children, and they said that that's historically like known for them. That they don't talk about is that those conquistadors or whatever, they would only fight with the kids, with the kids and with the women of the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Of native Mesoamerica and like North America, or rather North America. And so that's some shit, And so I know that they raped a lot of people and created the Spaniards and all that shit. And whose face is this? I mean, it's like a bunch of different types of people all around the area. You know what I mean? And but you know what I'm saying? It, like, that's what they done. I know that, but and there were a lot like whatever, rape and a lot of But the thing is, a lot of illegitimate children that they didn't care about after they had them, after they raped them and had them and shit. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Bro, why the fuck you get in my way, you bitch ass nigga? Bro, why the fuck did you get in my fucking way, bro? Man, that's that dumb shit, dude. You could have had that. This wrong teammate got in my face, bro. He got in my way. That's that bullshit. You could have had that, bro. Where the fuck was yellow, bro? You fucking suck, dude. Yo, whoever was yellow. Yo, whoever was yellow, you blew it. Whoever was yellow, you blew it, bruh. You fucking blew it. Anyway, like I was saying. So, yeah, so I started learning about that shit, bruh. So the conquistadors and all that shit, like supposedly it wasn't even a real conquesting shit. What they did, it wasn't a war. They never did that shit. What happened was they started lying. And they were betraying people, and it was assassinations, and reneging on treaties, breaking compromises, lying, stealing, you know what I mean, that type of shit, pillaging, and stealing and robbing lands and shit like that. That's what it was. It was an invasion. You know what I mean? It wasn't no conquering. It wasn't no conquistadors. It wasn't none of that shit. And so, like, I started fucking thinking about that shit. I'm like, do I believe it? Like, hell yeah. I believe that shit. I mean, I can see that shit now. That's what these motherfuckers try to do. It's like an invasive species. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're motherfuckers trying to go back to your country. Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. You motherfucker. I mean, you ain't even from this side of the fucking world. You know what I mean? That's some fucking stupid ass shit, right? But so I totally believe it, bruh. I totally believe that shit about, these motherfuckers. Where are the Native Americans at? Them niggas fucking, genocide. And and the way that they destroyed the Mexicans were because of chemical warfare. The way that they were able to take down the chief warriors was not because they defeated them in battle. Hell no. What they did was they gave smallpox-filled blankets to them. They gave smallpox to the people, to the kids, to the kids and shit. They gave smallpox blankets to the kids, and the kids would take it home and they would contagion, you know, other people, and that's how they killed these warriors and shit. I mean, these motherfuckers, fucking white people, man, I swear, pussy motherfuckers, bro. Just like, do they have no motherfucking shame and dignity and shit? Hell no. I mean, and I totally believe that shit. That's why they're the way that they are. Soulless. You know what I mean? I mean, shit. Materialistic and shit. It's all about profit. It's all about numbers and profit and materialistic and science and Darwinism and racism and you're a bunch of fucking animals and shit like that, you know? They don't have no shame. They have no dignity. You know, that's the type of shit, bruh, that, you know what I'm saying, they didn't teach us in school, but I always felt this shit this way. You know, it must have been hell for the people living here 20, 30 years ago. Like my parents' generation and everybody else. Like, holy shit, y'all put up with these fucking lies for fucking decades, bro. Holy shit. I mean, like, god dang. No, it really says something about, you know, the human mind when you can put up with bullshit, you know, and be lied to like that. You know, how much bullshit could you put up with? I mean, and whatever. I don't give a fuck. And so, and you know what else? You know, the fucking white man has, like, they the ones that created, like, if it wasn't for bitch. A la fucking Barbie, dije la gran puta. So anyway, right? You know, that, I mean, shit. I'm not trying to be racist, guys. But, like, I'm just being real. It's like, I mean, I don't have all the facts. I mean, I don't have all the facts. But shit, if these niggas think I'm scared of them, bro, they're fucking tripping, dog. Shit. They think I'm fucking scared. You know, like, all I know is that my people, like, we're strong people, but, you know, a lot of shit happened. And when I start thinking about Donald Trump and shit and Americans and how much bullshit they lied and they don't ask themselves these questions, they don't know the pain, they don't know the struggle of this land. I mean, for them to call themselves America, it's like, dude, you know, American, right? You're not worthy of fucking calling yourself a fucking American. I mean, like, you know why I say that? Because America does not just mean the United States of it doesn't just mean the United States. And it wasn't even called America, right? But still. Yeah. Ah! You know, and I'm just half playing here, yo. I mean, half kidding here. Why the fuck did my fucking shit do that, bro? But yo, so like, you know, people tell me to shut up. I'm like, look, Donald Trump sent Salvadorians back. He wants to end TPS. That nigga deserves to be in jail, first of all. But the fact that you're coming after a minority within a minority is so fucking fucked up, because the difference is that with El Salvador is that y'all created that problem, right? In that country, the U.S. created that fucking problem and shit. You know what I mean? And the U.S. created that problem by throwing a proxy war and citing and spending $1 million for the government to establish, you know, democracy or you know, another puppet fucking democracy. I mean, And for politics, it's like old Bush politics. Old Reagan fucking bullshit. One world order. I mean, fucking shit. You know what I mean? Fucking bullshit. I mean, and imperialistic fucking bullshit. And it was for that shit. And my people were used like fucking pawns. Like fucking pawns, where they started giving them money. They went after the guerrillas. They said the socialist is evil and communism is evil and shit. Whatever bullshit. You know what I mean? And this is the same country that dropped a bomb that it made for Nazis and dropped it on motherfucking Japanese. Like, what the fuck? I mean, so look, the point is, right? This is the same country that's $35 trillion in debt, and it bails out the bankers instead of the already rich people that were scamming instead of fucking the average citizens. I mean, this is the same country, man, that motherfucking won't even teach its citizens how to be financially literate to solve the economic crisis. I mean, goddamn. I mean, and everybody claims to be an expert, and then this is the same country that fucking follows whores and semi-literate motherfuckers that think they're so goddamn smart. You know what I mean? And stupid ass fucking white people that fucking claim to be smarter than everybody just because we can't prove the existence of God or some shit, some weird scientific Darwinist nebulous thinking that they got and shit. They're just a bunch of soulless animals, and they believe so. I mean, a bunch of nihilistic motherfuckers that when their stupid ideology like fails them, what happens? They become fucking nihilist and racist motherfuckers, and then they don't know what to do with themselves and shit. You know what I mean? They go invade another country and shit. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck. That's what happens when they believe their stupid fucking science shit. I mean, they become depressed. It's like an existential crisis. If you read Darwinism, or you read any like of these 18 motherfucking 100 what's it called? 1800 authors and English authors and shit, they all mostly sound like they're having a fucking. And you look at their pictures and you see them, they look like they're having an existential crisis, bruh. They're fucking sad and depressed and mean looking and shit. They're all nihilists, motherfuckers. They're all fucking depressed and shit, having an existential crisis. They live their life like that. I'm like, holy shit. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's how the fuck with their imperialistic garbage ass cities and shit. I mean, that they created big old fucking robbing, thieving ass empires that they know. They even know about those European bankers. That's what they were trying to get away from. What the fuck? Shit. I mean, that's what they were trying to get away from. That's what Americans were trying to get away from. So, that's what I've been trying to be fucking talking about. And I'll be looking at all this shit. I'm like, holy shit, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Not a historian, but shit. There's a lot to fucking go over there. I swear, I'm not trying to be racist or nothing. But can you believe that we've been like this? So when Trump was trying to, in 2020, trying to end the TPS for Salvadorians, I can't. I'm talking about something serious, and I'm playing this game. Mm-hmm. So when he was trying to do that, right? Bitch. So when that happened, he sent them to a death sentence, bro, because things over there used to be so bad, And like I said, America, U.S. politicians, their negligence and their stupid fucking orders, on their orders, all those horrific crimes against humanity took place. You know what I mean? All those human rights violations and crimes against humanity that happened in the 1980s in El Salvador was thanks to, in part, to the U.S. You know what I mean? Because they were giving them $1 million and orders to neutralize the threat, whatever means necessary. And they're like, okay, shit. I mean, pressure from the U.S. They're gonna $1 million. It's either Here's the thing about America is that think about Panama. Think about Panama. What did Panama do? They said Panama. What they did was Ulysses S. Grant. He told them, hey, we noticed that you have a way into the Pacific from where you're from your country. So they're like, why don't you let us, be able to take control of the Panama Canal? And then they were like, no, you know what? No. They're like, no, we don't want you to. Like, we don't want America to come to Panama, right? Back in the day, right? I'm talking about back in the day. You know what I mean? 1800 something. 200. I mean 1900. So what they did in the beginning of World War One, right? So what did what did the US do? What did the US do? I'll tell you what they did. What they did, man, shut up, lady. I'm trying to talk here. I'm trying to give facts, bitch. God damn, man. Well, why do these girls have kids, bro? Like, man, fuck this shit. Look, now I don't mean why she has kids. I mean, why the fuck she has kids on this shit? Trying to play a game. So look, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe I was stupid. Yeah, I was stupid. All right, must have been. But being with your dog ass.
Pick up that red box, Bobby, and shoot it in the guy in the game. Get us that. The red box, pick it up and shoot it in the eye. Oh, man.
And then this is too water. That's what I said. Yeah, ain't got nothing on her. Mom, first I'm gonna show you that. I asked him what you do at work. What? Yeah.
Damn it, man. Fucked up, bro. Fuck! Anyway, so like I was saying though, like where was I at? Yeah, so when Ulysses S. Grant invaded Panama, what he told the people were, either you let us take the Panama Canal and we'll help you with your rebel problem. They said, that's okay. We don't need your help, and we'll take care of the problem ourselves. We don't want you to have the Panama Canal. So what Ulysses S. Grant did instead was like, you know what? Are you sure? Okay, then we're gonna go help your rebels, and we're gonna help them take you out. You know what I mean? So either you know what I mean, and so that's what they did. You know what I mean? So then they went to go help the rebels, and they helped the rebels overtake the government. So that, and when they overthrew the government in Panama, Colombia, whatever or whatever it was called before that, they established Panama. It was called I don't know what it was called before, but So then so just so they could have the Panama Canal, they overthrew a government. From the very beginning, they've been doing this shit. They overthrew a government just so they could have access to the Panama Canal, so that they could take their boats and go to the Pacific quicker than to going all around the Africa. You know what I mean? I mean South America. You know what I mean? For their travel routes and their trade and shit. So it's always in the history of the U.S. fucking overthrowing, for their own gain, for their own shit. You know what I mean? So imagine El Salvador, you're getting pressured, to do that shit. You know what I mean? And plus countless other countries, more recently, that they set up puppet democracies. Of course, they had to follow their orders. You know what I mean? Or else, it would be, you know what I mean? So that's how it is. And that's what they did, right? And so, they were being pressured to kill their own people, and they did that. And I think that shit, to be in that situation is where they became evil. I think that's where you get all this like evilness that came from that, you know what I mean? This darkness that came from that because of the US, nigga. There's a fucking US, bro. I mean, and they did that shit. You know what I mean? Because you gotta remember, these motherfuckers, they only think about profit. They don't have a soul. They don't give a fuck about. It's like forcing a guy to kill his own brother. You know what I mean? It's like forcing people to kill each other, to kill their own brothers, their own friends, their own family. You know what I mean? Their own people and shit. You know what I mean? That's how it was, bro. So it's like totally, like fuck that shit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's just a different, type of thing, like it's just different, And so when the U.S. did that to El Salvador, they created that civil war. Well, they created the civil war. They prolonged it for 8 years, 9 years, whatever. And a lot of deaths by giving $1 million to the government, like I think every week, every day or some shit. I don't know. And then, so they could fight the guerrillas. So, what they gave them was helicopters. They gave them a helicopter with a minigun. And like, again, their orders were to whatever's necessary to stop the censors, the enemies, the left, which were the socialisms, communists, the real revolutionaries and shit. The revolutionaries against American imperialism. You know what I mean? And so that's who they were targeting. It's the right paramilitary death squads, who y'all know as the Proud Boys, right? That support Donald Trump. Those were the people that were the ones that were pushing those politics to El Salvador back in the 80s. They're like, telling them to kill the indigenous, the poor, and the own people. Proud Boys, right paramilitary death squads. You know what I mean? Sent, trained by the U.S., paid by the U.S., ordered by the U.S. to kill their own dissenters, to kill the left. You know what I mean? And so that's what they did. They killed poor people, indigenous people, innocent farmers and shit. That's what they did in El Salvador in the 1980s. And again, it was because of Americans that paid them to do that shit. So then, after the 1980s, it was crimes against humanity. I mean, the shit, y'all don't even know half the shit that happened because there was no journalists. The only reason that y'all were able to find out and information news was able to come out was because journalists were there. They snuck into these war zones and they placed themselves in there, and so they could get the news, like certain brave journalists or whatever. That's the only reason we know this shit, or else we would have never known this shit. You know what I mean? Because obviously the U.S. wasn't gonna You know, they didn't want them to find out about it. But what the journalists found out was that the people were living in cardboard boxes in the streets. You know what I mean? Well, during like a war, and the people, the dogs that were bought and paid for and trained by the fucking master, the U.S. You know, those people were they were the ones that were harassing them, would harass those kids and harass those poor people and shit. That's what they were paid to do, to harass the poor people of the countries, of the whole of the country. That's what they were paid for by the U.S. You know, that's what they were told to do, to kill the indigenous, the left, the socialists, all the liberals. You know, like the young, you know, the people. You know what I mean? The elderly. You know, the farmers. That's what they did, bruh. And so, and then you had guerrilla fighters that would fight against them and shit, or revolutionaries, or whatever you want to call them. I mean, and so, so that's how it was, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. And the only reason we know that is because some street journalists decided to sneak in to that country, or to go there themselves, and or else, you know, they would have just denied it. So anyway, right? And then like they want me to stop drinking and shit. The fuck you want me to, like, you know, y'all motherfuckers are the ones, what y'all want me to do? You want me to witness everybody betraying me and shit? I mean, I want me to witness my girlfriend getting fucked by some other dude while y'all try to tell me I'm crazy and trying to get me locked up and I lose everything? Come on, man. Don't tell me to quit drinking. So anyway, right? So what happened, right? So yeah, you know, nobody's perfect, but the point is that that's what happened. It sucks. And so after the 80s, you know, the refugees and the people, you know, by the way, Bilderberg didn't go, you know, fix this country or nothing. I mean, like, you know, even though America sponsored it, they didn't sponsor the reconstruction at all. I mean, they didn't really sponsor that much reconstruction in it. Maybe they did. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, but all I know is that when I went over there, there were still areas that were dilapidated, that were fucked up and condemned, and people still lived in them. And there was people, and no, I don't know. There's people that are poor and all that shit. You know what I mean? Kids that are poor on the side of the street and shit. You know what I mean? There was what's the word called? There was there was an earthquake that happened there not too long, like a decade or two ago, and there was still, you can still see it destroyed everything, and it never got fixed. They don't have a budget for that. You know what I mean? They didn't even have budget for like a good hospital in some areas. You know what I'm saying? Like dentists. You know what I mean? Any of that shit. Everything that y'all fucking Americans take for granted all the time, and you still motherfucking complaining and shit about people wanting to come and get a better life because they don't have shit over there. I mean, and they are still talking about go back over there, you know, and then you know what, you know, and then you know what, the fucking, so the refugees that they took from the 1980s and shit, you know, the ones that saw the violence and that lived through that shit, you know what I mean, they were traumatized. They had a right to get their to get asylum, you know what I'm saying, here in the U.S. because of the fact that the U.S. fucking, number one, it wants to be the good guy. Number two, it sponsored the war. So you know what I mean? So, you know, so the point is, right? So the people have the right to come over here, but they realize, you know, that very quickly they realized that they were met with racism and adversity here by who? by other minorities, by the blacks and by the Mexicans, which still goes on to this fucking day. You know what I mean? Because those motherfuckers are dogs. They're trained in the image of the white man. You know what I mean? They're trained to be racist against their own people, against people that were just like them, in their same situations. You know what I mean? And so anyway, right? They've been in America a little bit too long. It got to their head. You know what I mean? And so the point is, right? The point is, right, that well, there's another point. This is a thorny bastard, and it yeah, I cracked myself. So the point is, well, so yeah, that's what happened. And shit. When I say the point is, I help you regroup my thoughts. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, then they like I said, they took shit, I'm dead. I mean, this shit don't fail. So the people they brought over here, those people were met by racists, and they were already traumatized and shit, and they were newcomers, new pilgrims, or new people to America, right? I don't want to say pilgrims as much as I would say, there were new members, there were new commerce, I don't know what you want to call it, and to America, and they liked it, they enjoyed it, they really fell in love with it quick. It's a they believe in America. They're like, it's America, it's the United States, it's the best country in the world. I mean, yada yada yada. I mean, and then they were in the hood, they were met, and they're still, it's okay that they're in the hood. It's still better than their country, their war-torn, country that they don't get no dentists, they don't got shit. I mean, so, I mean, the hood, nigga, y'all think the hood is fucking bad here. Nigga, the hood, nigga, my ass, bro, that motherfucking shit is goddamn comfortable compared to living in fucking cardboards, boxes and shit, and fucking fucked up ghettos and shit. Like I said, the hood, this country's not that bad. Y'all just motherfucking bunch of fucking pieces of shit. Spoiled motherfuckers. Y'all a bunch of spoiled fucking people, including your fucking women, including American. Like, they come over here, they get spoiled. I mean, so anyway, so yeah, that's how it is. And then, with Mexicans and so that y'all know the gang shit, right? Y'all know the whole Bloods and Crips and Mexican Surtreses and Mexican Mafia and all that shit. Why do those things exist, right? Because of racism. I mean, because people truly are still idiots, and they have different allegiances and with different different people. So, instead of like acknowledging one another, they rather get in competition for the resources. It's so fucking stupid, Like, instead of helping each other, they fuck each other up worse. So, there's a gang war, turf war, whatever bullshit, drug muling, extortion, criminals. And repeat offenders and shit. And with drugs and all this shit. All this different level of high organized crime with money, and it's a different ball game. You know what I mean? It's not it's money now. It's the US. It's a lot of money. A lot of shit now. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? All this evil shit is business for them. People do it for money. So anyway, I don't know what it is with Americans that like gang culture, but when it came down, so they started attacking, the Salvadorians that were coming over, and they told them, but this was in 1980, man, fuck that guy. This was in the 1980s, right? So a long time ago. Or rather the 90s and 2000s. So then they started targeting Salvadorians, just like they did when I was a kid. I fought blacks and Mexicans because they're fucking racist pieces of fucking shit. You know what I mean? And they like to sucker punch motherfuckers and they like to act like their friends are a bunch of snakes. You know what I mean? Their women are fucking hoes too. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's what happens to everybody here. But since they're minorities, they're a little bit more desperate in poverty-stricken zones, and there's a little bit more violence and a little bit more. And they're not white motherfuckers, so they're a little bit more disorder and chaos to them. You know what I mean? Because they still remember some of their roots. Fucking slimy bastards. So anyway, what happens, right? They started targeting Salvadorians, and then the Salvadorians got mad because they started getting ganged up on. So individually, and so they created their own gang, because that's what you do here, right? You create your own gang here. You know what I mean? The right to assembly it. They don't want to assemble with you because you're an outsider. So what do? You go to your community, because there's all this stereotyping and classification and all this stereotyping and racism and diversity. So what do? You motherfucking, well, some people, some of them decided to not take it all in stride, and to, you know, because maybe one of their friends died because of this shit, because of blacks or because of Mexicans. So that they decided to create their own gang. And when they decided to create their own gang to watch each other's backs, you know, against blacks and Mexicans, that's why MS was created. You know what I mean? Because of racism and because of adversity. You know what I mean? The only difference is that these people had seen war. You see how y'all don't fuck with those niggas that come from Syria and Israel, right? Y'all see some Israelis fucking start getting down, you're gonna be like, you know, you're gonna think twice instead of fucking with them, right? Because you know that those motherfuckers, especially if they've been in Gaza, they've seen all this shit, they will fuck your shit up. They're not playing around. You know what I mean? Same shit with these guys. You know what I mean? They're not just trying to be cool and all this bullshit, and you motherfuckers, not a fascination that these people have, right? You know, it's life, right? And so, you know, with the you know, some of those stuff, they banded together to watch their own backs. They had to, and they had to do it against blacks and against Mexicans, both of them, right? As newcomers to the land, being here that don't have that ground yet, you know what I mean? But they came on land, and so what happened is that's why they come together, because they come together, and like even now you can kind of see the reason why they come in caravans, if you really want to know, is because fucking Mexicans kidnap some of them and rape their women that try to come over here. You know what I mean? Fucking cartels and other people rape them and take them down when they're by themselves. You know what I mean? That's on the way over here. You know what I mean? And then over here they get fucking separated too. So it's better to stick together. You know what I mean? Can you believe that shit? You know what I mean? Like that, the fact that y'all have no idea about the journey over here and all the shit they gotta face just to be met by motherfuckers that want to talk shit. Y'all have no idea. You think that they're trying to like shove it in your face? You know what I mean? You think they're trying to just piss you off or something? That's how ignorant you motherfuckers are, bro. You know what I mean? That's how fucking ignorant you motherfuckers are. And so, like, the point is, right? Another point. Thorny bastard. So like when so because they had seen war, they started warring against the Mexicans. I'm telling you the origin story of the MS-13. They started because of Mexicans and blacks that were ganging up on them, and so because they were Salvadorian, because they were outsiders, so they banded together. It's just like a clique of friends. It's just like what pretty much every fucking Salvadorian. Well, not really, because you have an option. You can take it in stride, positively, do your work, be called a chump, but not get involved in hood politics, not get involved in this shit with blacks or with Mexicans or with people with skin color. You know what I mean? Liberals, Democrats, and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? And you can just choose to be yourself and well, not be yourself, but like to avoid to be wise and listen to your mom and not do that shit. I mean, not get in trouble, not do anything. But for a lot of people, that's very difficult, man. For a guy, as a man, it's difficult, and then when you're, an outsider, it's even difficult. But still, I think that Salvadorians get more discriminated than Mexicans, and then in my opinion, because there's more of them, and there's less of us, and you would think, right, that hey, there's less of you, so that means that people ignore you. They ignore you until the president or somebody fucking says some shit specifically about the country and then everybody's against you. You know what I mean? And shit, and then there's no room for you suddenly. You know what I mean? Even though, you know, you're 1 in 19 Mexicans, even though you're 1 in 23 blacks, right? Or 1 in 30 blacks, right? You know what I mean? And so, you know, man, when everybody's against you and shit. And so I've been in that situation, you know? And because you're an outsider, they still look at you as an outsider, sort of, in a way. You know what I mean? So that's how it is, you know? You know, that's why I call these motherfuckers snakes and shit, because, you know, they motherfucking, they act like your friend, and to me that meant something, and then they just, like, stab you in the back, because you're just a Salvadorian to them. You know, they don't give a fuck. Fucking women that I fuck with, like, they think that I don't know what the fuck they think, but they act like I was, like, not, like, being serious with them or something. You know what I mean? They act like I'm some hoe-ass motherfucking dude, you know what I mean, that doesn't believe in God, or didn't want to start a family or some shit, you know? There's just some fucking shit. And then, you know, it's a stereotype. That's why I mentioned this. There's a stereotype that they have against Salvadorians. I mean, everybody has this shit against Salvadorians. It's because it's a continual abuse and discrimination against us. You know what I mean? Ever since the fucking 90s, ever since 80s and the 90s, it's this continual fucking type of abuse towards us. And which is like, they trying to, like, the first cop that found that I was Salvadorian, the first thing he said was, "So you're part of MS-13?" And I said, "No." He's like, you know, where you're, you know, I know you are, or whatever. The first thing he did was trying to get me to self-incriminate myself, which is illegal. And then, you know, on top of that shit, you know, that's illegal, you know, for a cop to try to tell you to self-incriminate yourself. You know what I mean? That's illegal. And, you know, that's the first thing he told me. And you know, that's the type of shit that I'm trying to say, you know? Like these motherfuckers ain't shit. And then the blacks, you know, they think that, I don't know what the fuck they think. They must think I'm a Mexican or some shit. You know what I mean? Then Mexicans motherfucking be like, "No, you're not a Mexican." I'm like, "Yeah." You know, and then they think they're better than everybody and shit. You know what I mean? So, and then their women be talking to all that other bullshit, like if I'm some hoe ass nigga or some shit, you know. It's very disrespectful, but I don't know. The stereotyping they say is, "You're a crazy Salvadorian." You know what I mean? "Oh, he's MS. You don't know how many fucking people have fucking gotten it. I used to have so much motherfucking problems because of that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, fucking Mexican chicks, like Dolo Hispano and shit from school, they look at me like he's Salvadorian, and then they look at me that I'll fucking whoop some niggas' ass. They're like, "Oh, this nigga's he's Salvadorian. He's MS." You know what I mean? This nigga's crazy. You know what I mean? And so you don't know how many fucking, like, I automatically fucking had to. Let's just say I got acquainted with a lot of very strong characters. You know what I mean? Very early on. You know, very eccentric, you know what I mean, people, you know, very early on. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of pieces of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not playing. No, but, like, you know, it was serious, you know, and people would try to check me and try to tell me, you know, try to run up on me and shit. You know what I mean? Like, try to come up and check me and shit. You know what I mean? On foot and shit and all that bullshit. Like, they were always trying to fucking, you know, street check, G check me and shit. So I don't give a fuck, you know. Like I told him, nigga, look, I don't give a fuck what you know what I mean? Because, like, you have to think about this shit, bro. It's not just one or two guys, you know. It's motherfucking, like, a whole bunch of those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And it's like, and if one of them finds out, they all tell everybody, and then everybody fucking knows what you are and shit like that. You know, that's how fucking high school used to work. You know what I mean? That's how you know, certain fucking liberals, even though this is how high school used to work, they, even as adults, that's how they want to do it. That's how they want to do shit on their Facebook and shit, even though they're fucking grown ass people. They still can't seem to mind their own fucking business. You know what I mean? And they still want to, like, spread rumors and shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, right? You know, even fucking women that like to have validation, man, they snitch on the whole goddamn fucking community. They fucking tell their own fucking you know, the old ex-boyfriend shit, that should have strangled her ass, you know, or some shit, you know, so she can learn her fucking lesson. You know, you know, she motherfucking tells that motherfucker's business to everybody on the group chat, on Snapchat, on fucking Instagram chat, instant message chat. You know what I mean? Goddamn. All type of shit, bro. I mean, like, they just tell everybody's business everywhere, you know? And that's what I noticed. Like, I was going out with a Mexican chick. She left me for a Mexican dude. Like, why the fuck were you wasting my time? I mean, I don't even like Mexicans like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I do, but, you know, but I'm saying they don't. So I can't like Mexicans because they always fucking, like, every couple of years. See, what happens with Mexicans is that when when the white man is on their ass, they don't say shit. You know what I mean? They're cool or whatever. But you know, like they try to like kiss their ass and shit. But when because the man is on them. But when the man the white man points their attention to me, you know what I mean? On Salvadorians, then they're like, oh yeah, fuck, finally, you know, fuck, it's their turn to fucking, you know what I mean? And then they go and do all the shit and they act like they're the shit. You know what I mean? And whatever. So it's like, and that's only because, like I said, all of like the work, sort of, in my life, I like to compare it to what white people did in this country, you know, and how nations treat other nations. So, you know how President Trump went and told Mexico, you know, you're going to do this, whatever. You know, and he tells all these other people that's how some, you know, maybe that's how some, you know, businessmen want to act. You know, but and the black man, I mean the black man, I don't know, black man, oh yeah, he's cool, you know, because Trump is cool with black people. You know what I mean? And the way that you know, Mexicans are, you know, it's like as long as the attention ain't on them, they're fine. So they'll always take, right now they're kissing the ass. They're kissing America's ass because they started kissing Trump's ass. And then with Biden, you know, they're like, they don't give a fuck. They're just running through people's boundaries and real life. You know, they don't know how to respect people's real boundaries, just like they don't know how to respect the border, right? But always now it's even worse, different, because now they have started being discriminate towards Central Americans. You know what I mean? Because they're kissing, because they're growing. You know, they're having an economy. They're doing all this shit, and now they're like, you know, trying to be different towards Central Americans. I'm like, dude, you know, what the fuck? There's a lot of motherfucking people there. Man, what the fuck, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, that's that bullshit. But yeah, like so you know, like I said, so when they sent those gangsters back to El Salvador, it started that chain reaction that led to it becoming the world's deadliest fucking the gangsters that they had came from LA, where they learned and picked up all that shit, and you see so there's really didn't have a chance to heal. You know what I mean? So it just became perpetual evil, like this evil cycle. I think that affected many Salvadorians. A lot of innocent people died, and I think that we have this thing, you know, in our hearts that keeps us going. But we know that it's like really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like bad times that we've been through and shit. You know what I mean? And people still want to be fucking discriminatory, like 2 decades later. Fucking, you know, still fucking talk, like, still doing all the shit, you know, still trying to talk about Salvadorians and shit, and it's like we just trying to, like, for me, right, like, I'm trying to heal the generations, but then these fucking pieces of shit niggas here, they're fucking shit up. They want to go against, you know what I mean, they want to corrupt the next generation of Salvadorian Americans. I mean, and the ones that are good, and the ones that are not are fucked up, you know what I mean? But I think that they do that shit to everybody. It's just that I personally think that, you know, if a Salvadorian is not a perfect person, if he's not a good person that goes to church and everything, then here they get discriminated really badly. Or maybe that's just me. My experience in the U.S. Is that, like, you know, people always assume that I was up to no good. You know, the cops accused me of being this. I got checked so many times, and I had to fight so many people. You know what I mean? And then I was just like, man, you know what? Fuck you. I am Salvadorian. You're not going to break my pride of who I am. And so I'm American, but I'm like, I also represent Salvador. And so when I see that these motherfuckers are just fucking with us and they don't really give a shit and they think it's cute. You see, with Trump, when he sent people, he's trying to end TPS and shit for or he was trying to in 2020, he sent those people back knowing that it was, that it was not a good situation down there in El Salvador. Unless he didn't give a fuck and he didn't even check to see how his neighbors are doing in the U.S., and shit. And so, because he doesn't give a fuck about people in this country. I mean, and so the point is that he sent those people back knowing, they went back to a death sentence. Some girls, like, that were there, that they have stories, in 2020 when Trump wanted to send them back and he successfully deported them. They begged them, they tried to stop them. There was some movement that they were like, that you can't do that, and they did it anyway. And everybody, oh yeah, all you motherfuckers, all you fucking pieces of shit that fucking voted for that fucking piece of crap. And so anyway, it was a death sentence that he sent them back to, and many people died when they got back. There was a woman that fucking got sent back. She escaped the gangster. She escaped rape. She escaped all the shit. She went through Mexico. She got raped on the way here, and then she came here, and then just to get deported back. And when she got deported back, the gangster found her again and raped her repeatedly again. Like, it's just a fucked up situation. You know what I mean? And then, it's just all fucked up. And, things that have repercussions, back then, things that you do here have repercussions over there. And people have to, y'all don't know, man. Y'all just don't give a fuck. And, it's really fucking fucked up over there. And it was the deadliest city. And you wanted to send them back? You know what I mean? It was the world's deadliest city, and you want to send them back? You motherfuckers? You know what I mean? Y'all created that fucking problem. You know what I mean? And it's just so fucked up, how they did that shit. Thankfully, and then when Bukele got elected, he said, you know what, man, like it or not, I'm gonna fucking fix this shit. I don't give a fuck. He has to take matters into his own hands. People have to take the matters in their own hands because the politicians don't do shit. Because they were a puppet democracy to begin with that was elected, put there by the U.S. That they weren't doing shit. There's so much limits to what they can do. And, and they were put in there by people who didn't care to actually help develop the country again. They just decided to, we're going to put what we believe on them. As long as they don't fucking get out those boundaries, then whatever. It's fucking bullshit. It didn't really fucking help. And so, as far as I understand it, I might be wrong. The point is that, what I do understand is that there hasn't been a lot of time to heal for the Salvadorian people, and I think that since Bukele has been there now for the last year or maybe 2 years, 3 years, has been the first time that they've been able to heal. You know what I mean? And I think that we're a little bit, like, people are a little desensitized, to the fact that we've never had time to heal. And when we look at good times, we're actually really bad times, but we can't differentiate that. You know what I mean? And so, like for me, or maybe that's just maybe that's just my life. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's like, I think that, I believe in God, and the people that don't, pretty much, I don't know what the fuck they fight for. I don't think they have had to fight or whatever. You know what I mean? And so, like, the point is here, fucking people try to treat us like fucking pawns for their political shit. Why the fuck would he talk shit about El Salvador? He didn't do shit to help the cartel. He wants to talk about some cartel. Why don't they talk about the American cartel? Well, if he wants to, why don't they talk about, the Mexican cartel is way bigger, right? Why don't they do some shit about that? Why don't they talk about the American cartel? The rich fucking Jeffrey Epsteins and shit that were Trump's friend. You know what I mean? All of Hollyweird. You know what I mean? Or those fucking meth lords out in the desert. You know what I mean? Those motorcycle gangs. If you want to talk about shit that you could do, you know what I mean? Why don't you start off at the top? You know what I mean? And so, instead of like, well, actually, that's not true. Because, like, MS was pretty crazy. They, like, to be talking shit about them, you see, I've never seen so many haters of MS, even when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Them niggas, the niggas that talk shit about them only talk shit because the president talked shit about them, the FBI did a crackdown on them, and all local authorities wanted to go against them, and they did. systemically around the world, around the United States. That's the only reason why these niggas talk shit. Because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be talking shit like that. Because they know who the fuck runs it. Just go ask these gay motherfucking niggas who runs the streets. I mean, who the fuck? Just go ask these mariconcitos. You know what I mean? Who the fuck runs the shit? Who fucks them in their ass, the motherfuckers? Pieces of shit. I mean, fucking faggots. You know what I mean? They know who they know who runs the shit. And you know, that's why, like, I see Mexicans, like, trying to take liberty and shit, you know, over Salvadorians and shit because of the fact that they had that crackdown. And I think that not enough people came to Salvador's defense. You know, like, the people that call your homies and shit, you know, those fucking Mexicans, they didn't give a fuck. Fucking blacks, they don't give a fuck. You know, all these people that you think you're cool with and shit, they don't, when it comes down to politics and shit like that, they don't represent you when shit goes down like that. You know, certain people do. But when like in 2020, when they were deporting Salvadorians and shit back to a death sentence, back to El Salvador, they didn't give a fuck. Nobody, I didn't hear it in the news. I didn't hear rappers, fucking stupid even Puerto Ricans. They don't talk about this shit. You know what I mean? No fucking person on that's famous, that has a platform or any of that shit, fucking talks about that shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They rather act like a bunch of fucking clowns and shit. You know what I mean? And even like the reason I say blacks and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and shit is because of hip hop. It's because of rap. It's because of reggaeton. It's because of about the culture, and they don't talk about that shit. You know what I mean? When it comes out to Salvadorian shit, the real shit, they don't fuck with it. They're like, nah, we can't, because if we affiliate with them, then we're gonna be looked at as terrorists, nigga. You know what I mean? So, you know, they can't. Because the shit that they let fly here, it doesn't fly in El Salvador. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have tattoos like that. I mean, they rounded up everybody that had a tattoo. You know what I mean? They rounded up all these motherfuckers that had tattoos just for having tattoos. And they put them in the motherfucking jails, bro, with other gang members. You know what I mean? With real motherfucking murderers and shit. You know what I mean? It's always been like that, bro. Like I said, back then, I knew, like, what I was told, what I knew is that you can't take shoes. You couldn't take good shoes over there. You'll get mugged. If you took fucking sneakers, if you had good brand new sneakers and you took them over there, they'd consider you a drug dealer. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, y'all motherfuckers, bro. I'm saying it was poor, like, fuck, you know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers are fucking pieces of shit, bro. You know, the motherfucking bougie ass niggas y'all like over here, bro, fucking maricones, bro. It's not, you know, and the thing is that, like, that they teach you here to be cool with these niggas, and they teach you that Salvadorians. So Mexicans are cool, black people are cool, but Salvadorians are what? I mean, we're not cool. We're not cool, or what? You know what I mean? We ain't down, or what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, look. It's like this. When they did a crackdown on MS, right? Even the Mexican mafia was like, we can't be affiliated with them no more. So even because they did a lot of cartel shit too. Even they were like, you know, we gotta fucking do them in too. And there was like a systemic, like, killing of MS leaders in Mexico. I still remember reading that document. It was like they killed MS leaders almost simultaneously when the FBI and Trump and everybody else said that they wanted to do a crackdown on them. I mean, it's like we gotta cut our ties with them. So that's what they started to do. Like, oh, they're going down, so we gotta, you know, they try to finish them off. Like, it's really like, it's really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's really fucked up. But that's how it is. You know, it's like you can't trust nobody, bro. Not even in real life, and especially if you like with niggas like that, like the Mexicans and the FBI and that. You'll never think, but this is how you know they're bitch niggas, because they work together. You know what I mean? Like, they work against the common goal. You know what I mean? I mean, a common goal. That's so fucked up. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, rappers and these people. You never think that they'd work in cahoots with each other, but when it came down to MS, the niggas were working in cahoots with each other, even though they're unholy alliances. You know what I mean? Unholy alliances. You know, a complete contradiction to everything that they were trying to stand for and shit. You know what I mean? And so when you have like right now like Narco Corrido, or you have Peso Pluma and all those niggas that you have now, right? You know, they, you know, in the culture, they fucking promote that, you know, type of narco corrido culture and shit. You know what I mean? It's so hilarious, you know, that's what they say now, because like these niggas weren't really doing that shit. And I'm not trying to say who was doing it, who was not doing that shit, and whether you're real or not. I'm just trying to say that my girlfriend was Mexican and she liked like Tracalosa Jenny Rivera, but and she acted like a good girl, and then I was like, I thought she was a good person, and then she cheated on me with a Mexican dude. And when she cheated on me with that Mexican dude, you know what I mean? She just fucking went like if that nigga was some fucking, you know, guy should be scared of, like some, you know, like if that nigga was some shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, what the fuck? I mean, fuck that, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a total disrespect. So you ran off with a Mexican, and then you excommunicated me. And what you just, y'all just think y'all so cool? And you know, if you have a beef with one Mexican, you have a beef with like a lot of them. Like I said, you know what I mean? They tell each other their shit, and they all don't like me. They don't invite me to their parties and shit, you know? I mean, because I don't know why. I guess because I like being Salvadorian. I don't know. And so I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I mean, the point is that, you know, if I was gonna be fucking like I kind of regret going out with Mexican chicks. I kind of regret, you know, trusting these niggas and these Mexicans. I mean, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. You know, because like I said, they don't care about anything I just said. You know what I mean, about El Salvador. They don't give a fuck about none of that. I mean, about what really happens and that shit. They don't really give a shit. They don't really understand me. You know what I mean? But yeah. So while they're having a good old time and shit, it's like Mexico trying to say we're better than you. Like we fix crime and shit. Like no, like El Salvador fixed their crime. You know, like, you know, hooray! And they're like, yeah, what about your soccer team? I'm like, well, I mean, we stop people from dying. You know, can we have a good day before you immediately try to, you know, again say that you're better than us? I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's just so fucking. I fucking hate that shit. You know, I hate Mexicans. I mean, pieces of fucking shit. You know, they just like, you know, stop dying, and you know, it's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? With like, you know, the whole, you know, shit. You know. And I mean, I thought by now there'd be some Salvadorian in the game by now, and hip hop or rap or some shit, and that still hasn't happened. That's why I'm like, shit. That's why I be thinking that I can do it, but then motherfuckers tell me I couldn't, and then I'm like, nah, but I can't. Fuck these niggas. I mean, what? Like, you know, I already fucking fought, you know, against. I already fought for trying to rap. You know what I mean? I already fought people for rapping. But it's not only that. It's just that, like, if these niggas talking about the streets and they talking about struggle, they talking, well, what are they talking about? Because they ain't talking about that shit. They ain't talking about real shit. You know what I mean? They're talking about fake shit. You know, maybe. Or you know, you can't fucking exclude Salvadorians from the conversation if you want to talk about who hit the street hardest. You want to talk about violence. You talk about you want to listen to, like, you know, some real leveling up shit. You know, so you can turn the fuck up. You know what I mean? I'll give you the experience of Salvadorian and shit going and being, you know, against all these motherfuckers. Because I don't give a fucking shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I know, I sound like a racist. I know, I sound like a fake, right? Nah, but I ain't fake though, because like, because first of all, you dyke ass bitches with your fake ass dick. That's fake. Because you need to have muscle to learn how to fucking fight. Don't ever try to act like you a rebel, bitch. You need to have muscle to be able to fight when the time comes. You need to be able to protect your people. You need to be able to provide for your people. Alright? So don't fucking try to act like you a man, and don't be trying to act like you a rebel. God, hold on now. You know what I mean? Shit. But I'll tell you what though, like when it did, that shit, that story was funny when that guy said that the conquistadors, what they used to do was fight against women and against children because the warriors were true men with big hearts, strong hearts. You know what I mean? And they couldn't fuck with them. I mean, I believe that shit on some level. With the indigenous versus the invaders, the colonizers, whatever fucking bullshit you want to call them. They were invaders because and colonizers, and they weren't conquistadors or explorers. There was already people here. They weren't discoverers. They weren't conquerors. They weren't that shit. They came here like an invasive species and started fucking lying, not just lying, but breaking compromises, two-timing, stealing, robbing, pillaging, thieving, conniving, shit like that. I mean, it's an invasive species, and they killed the warriors by giving them smallpox from blankets that they gave to children. You know what I mean? Okay, that wasn't exactly, a showdown. I mean, that was just like these motherfuckers came here with their treacherous ways to fucking try to steal the land. It's so fucking fucked up. Like, that thing. You know what I mean? And here I was thinking, I wanted to be a Jedi Knight. Not that has anything to do with here I was thinking that, that it must have been pretty tough for these motherfuckers to defeat them. Like, nah, and then they brought firearms, and the firearms pretty much, devastated most of the indigenous, until the indigenous got firearms, and then even then, these motherfuckers had cannons. I mean, so like, it's just fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? I think I'm done talking shit. You know what I mean? It's just that, like, I started listening to it and I got really wrapped up into it. But yeah, I mean, I love my country. I love this country. Really, what it is that I want everybody to be good, and I just so happen to find out that, that they're trying to, bullshit me and in El Salvador. You know what I mean? And unlike you motherfuckers, I happen to fucking give a shit. You know what I mean? So like I said, the reason Trump wants to, and I don't get political, the reason Trump wants to win is because if he doesn't win, he's probably more than likely going to go to jail. I know that's not what people like to hear, but, that's just, but personally, I don't like him because imperialistic, right, conservative, paramilitary death squads follow him, or his supporters, aka the Proud Boys, and because, he wants to deport, he wants to deport Salvadorians. And because he wants to pick on the little people. And because, quite frankly, my guy, I don't know, like, how to say it, but, he had his chance at doing the wall. He failed. He didn't fix the economy, so that was a fail. He actually added $8.3 trillion to the debt, which is more than any other, I think, more than any president while he was in office. $8.3 trillion. But I'm gonna take off $2.5 trillion because of the pandemic, or $3 trillion. Let's take out a good $3 trillion because of the pandemic. That leaves him with still $5 trillion that he added to the debt. Okay, so spending like a madman. And if I remember correctly, the only people he bailed were the bankers. Again, with the trickle down economics, corporate tax cuts, trickle down economics that don't work. If the bottom, and here's the way to solve that problem, which like all these smart people like Ben Shapiro and all these, what's that other guy that fucking, he like, he like argumentative, he's confrontational, he like, he goes to colleges, he sits down, he has a mug, he's like, abortion is murder, change my mind, or whatever. That fucking guy, you know what I'm saying? That fucking stupid fuck. That guy's not a smart motherfucker, man. Like I said, like not even that guy. I heard what he had to say to how could we solve the economic crisis, and his answer was to his answer was to stop letting banks buy back fucked up loans or some shit like that. To not let loans be bought back again that are fucked up, that are, like the mortgages that were defaulted on and that were sold back to other people. Like he's referring to like this what we found out on the 2008 housing crisis. You know what I mean? When they were doing that shit and that led to a collapse. No, nigga, that shit is small potatoes compared to what could happen now. You know what I mean? That shit is y'all niggas don't even know, bruh. Yeah, shit, nigga. Like, but the point is, right? The point is that that's what he was saying. I'm like, but I think that's stupid. I don't think that would do anything. I read this, and this is true story. This is the biggest threat for me. This is the real threat of America, to America, is the $35 trillion debt that it has in the economy. All right, and the only way that I mean, it was read too. This is the thing, right? Even if everybody paid their taxes and shit, and gave their income, paid, everything they could, threw money at it. If everybody did that in the world, I mean, in the United States, it still wouldn't even make a dent, and actually, it would be worse. I mean, it'd be worse because people wouldn't stimulate the economy per se. It would be throwing it at this debt. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't have money to stimulate the economy. So it's like this shit would be even more fucked up. You know what I mean? So the point and the reality is that, you know what I mean. I start thinking about this shit. I'm like, man, this is so funny because like you're talking about a good 20, like maybe $15 trillion, maybe that they have printed in the last, I don't know, 15 years or 20 years, and in like 15 years, and really, they could have solved this problem if they would have thought ahead. When they were being racist and they were bombing other countries. But it's not about them going to war and spending $1 trillion at war. No. It's even worse. It's about the fact that the motherfuckers were treating people here like shit. You know what I mean? Their own American citizens. You know what I mean? And so the solution is a solution my sister told me, and that I believe is for people to become financially literate. And actually, the person that the other person that said that, other than my sister did tell me that one time. He said that the best thing that people got to do is be to be educated. You know what I mean? That's a smart thing, to educate people. If you want to fix a place, like you can teach them how to. You can get them a fish, or you can teach them how to fish. You know what I mean? Teach them how to fish. You know what I mean? And so it's like if you want to help the people, for trickle down economics to work, the people got to meet them halfway, because they're not able to go they're not able, because that disparity that's there, which is called the middle class, they're trying to destroy it. The Democrat socialism would destroy the middle class, just so you know. But then that middle class is becoming what's it called, smaller and smaller, and there's more of a thing between the haves and the have-nots, right? And the lower class are getting bigger and bigger, and so the it's getting further and further away from each other, and in terms of the amount of people, and it's going to be way harder to get more rich, but also the people that are rich, it's hard for trickle down economics to work and to reach the bottom class. So basically, you know, if America would have, if the United States would have been caring about their youth and about their future instead of fucking just caring about their reaping the benefits of it now, which is what they have been doing for the last 30 years in the stock market. It's just watching the rising prices, you know, that was not built by them, but by the generation prior to them. I mean, and the generation that were working off the efficiency of the market that was created by the generation prior to them, some 60, 90, or 90 years ago, right? Then they wouldn't be like this, but because they're money hungry, greedy motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Just like Donald Trump said, that they built these big old towers into the sky. Money hungry motherfuckers. This is an act of rebellion against God, right? If you're biblical, right? And all they thought about was profit. And all they did was fucking steal from the market and whatever. You know, making insane boatloads of cash. Why? You know, while people starved in the streets. While people can't feed their kids. While kids don't even have free education, free health care. Women don't have free prenatal care. There's not free mental health care for men. There's no... There ain't shit in this country, and yet we pay taxes on everything. You know what I mean? And they, because of their fucking neglect for decades, motherfucker, the kids, they didn't give the money back into the education to the brown and the blacks. You know what I mean? To the poverty people. They didn't let these kids learn some shit. You know what I mean? You have a group of people that they dropped the ball, and it's not their fault because their government didn't fucking help. And so the trickle down economics never worked because the people at the bottom don't know how to receive that. They don't know how to go get these things these programs that are out there for them. They don't know how to, you know what I mean, get to the money that you have put aside for them specifically. I mean, they don't know how to do that because you didn't give them financial literacy. You know what I mean? Maybe if y'all stop treating the fucking schools like a bunch of, you know, indoctrination centers that are getting them ready for the prison environment, you know what I mean? By, you know what I mean, then the pipeline to the prisons, then maybe, you know, for the brown and the blacks that y'all segregated against us and y'all isolated us and y'all fucking ostracized some of us after they victimized us and then brutalized us and put us into the fucking, locked us up like fucking animals. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Then maybe, right, I would have a house by now. I would have been able to pay, we have a good job, a career, and have good taxes. I'd be married and paying, you know, for my kids. I'd be getting a tax break for my kid and for my marriage. And, you know, I'd have a nice car and have good credit score and all that shit. And, you know, a good FICO score. You know what I mean? And all that fucking, and all that jazz. And I'd be washing my motherfucking car on a Sunday, you know what I mean, while drinking a beer in my garage, you know, and with a hot-ass girlfriend and with good titties and shit that we like to go eat at Ruth Chris every Saturday, every Thursday night. I mean, oh, yeah. You know, and I'll take vacations and do all that bullshit, you know, and stimulate the economy, all right. I mean, but, you know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't get an education, you know. That I got kicked out of high school. You know I was beaten by blacks, by Mexicans, by racist ass white pigs with badges. You know what I mean? And that's not an exaggeration, you know. And so yeah. And yeah, you know, so and nobody taught me shit. Self-taught. So I still got self-taught to teach myself. So the point is that I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. You know, but it's funny how the neglect of America is why this country is in shambles, because y'all don't care about people that are already here. Y'all don't care about, like me, for example. Y'all still want me to go back. Like, where the fuck y'all telling me to go back? Nigga, I was born in Texas and I was raised here and I lived my whole life here. I mean, what the fuck you talking about? I mean, I pay my motherfucking taxes, bitch. I mean, but it's your racist shit. Your demonizing and patronizing fucking antics and your racist antics that y'all have. I mean, when I say y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all. I mean, got people that voted for Trump, you know, and so and other motherfuckers, you know. But yeah, dude, and then y'all try to judge me because because of the way that I am, bitch. I've had to defend myself. You know, do you think I give a fuck about whether you're offended? You know what I mean? I have to defend myself. It's life or death. Do you think I give a fuck if you're offended, bitch? I don't give a fucking shit. You have that luxury to be offended. I don't have that luxury. I have to watch my back. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, just saying. But yeah. So if you wanted to fucking fix the economy, you should have done that. You know what I mean? But you didn't because you didn't care about your people. You know, that's why fucking people vote in the first place, is to get their voice heard. I mean, I remember going to high school and like all the white kids would, not all of them, but I remember that I was in history class and the white motherfucking kids would look at me like I'm like some troublemaker and shit. And when it comes down to like shit they used to do and whatever, they get all heated and shit. And I don't know what. You know, the thing is that some of these cats aren't really white, you know? White is not a race. Is it? I don't know. I think it's a class. You know, there's a different, like, just because they want to. Just because I'm not saying they're actually doing it. I'm saying, well, because they want to fuck a bitch, but they can't. Why do they gotta feel like monsters? What the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all pieces, y'all all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like the women that these guys are supposed to be having sex with are fucking each other because they're gay. They are being told to be made to feel like monsters because they're horny, but there's no girl for them to fuck. They are distracted because there's sexualization everywhere. And why are they gonna work? How are they gonna work? And yet every fucking bitch out here is a prostitute. If you ever got paid for sex on video, even on video or camera or in real life, you a fucking prostitute. I mean, y'all bitches had to hear that shit from like other fucking people that look like y'all, when that's just common sense. I mean, like, I can't believe that shit. That's common sense. What was I gonna say? I got a girl on my friends list that she always be flashing money that she made. And I'm like, yo, this fucking chick is a prostitute, bro. And literally, they don't fucking feel nobody. Like, I go on her profile every now and then to see, like, if anybody's gonna tell her that shit. You know what I mean? And nobody says anything. There's a whole bunch of dudes there, a whole bunch of females, like, on her friends list. Nobody sees anything wrong with that she's a prostitute. You know what I mean? And it just blows my mind how motherfuckers don't know that that's prostitution. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so fucking crazy. It's so insane. I'm saying, like, you know, this culture of sex trafficking is a culture, and yet people add to this culture all the fucking time. And they add to the exploitation of women. You know, 10 years ago, you see, here's the funny part, guys, because this is why I get on your fuck. This is why I fucking hate bitches. Because I play Call of Duty, right? 11 years ago, in 2013, women came out talking about some men are perverts, they're chauvinists, they're toxic, they're abusive, and they are sexually objectify women. You know, 10 years ago, you know, they said that men were sexualizing women, objectifying women, to the point that, you see, but back then, you see, all you hoes, y'all were able to hide it from your parents, you know, and from all your friends and everybody else. Y'all still had a little bit of shame. There was still a little, you know, bad connotation to being a fucking whore. You know what I mean? You know, single mothers weren't that in yet. You know what I mean? Shameless didn't have seasons. You know what I mean? And so anyway, right? You know, in 2013, right? Women came to gaming and said, you know, just out of everything, right? Like, I know real bitches in real life, okay? But then they came to gaming a little bit late, I might add, because 2012 and 2011 were Project X days. You saw how motherfuckers were crazy back in the day. Okay, that motherfucker was tripping. America was already fucked up that way. I mean, and that we were partying like there was no tomorrow, okay? Albeit, we went through a housing crisis. We went through the war of sort of scares and shit, and we were all fucked up. That generation of millennials and shit. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, you know, but we gaming was so beautiful, you know, and they went to gaming in 2013 a little bit late, but they said that men were sexually objectifying women. So they changed all the gaming. They got rid of our freedom of speech in games, you know, our right to say whatever on gaming chats. It's not real life. I mean, it's not real life. On gaming chats, on everything else. And, you know, they got the politicians involved really quickly because the politicians always need a reason to stop degeneracy in teenage kids. So they'll be like, you know, oh, the GTA is promoting, you know, violence in children, and the reason for this school shooting, you know what I mean, or whatever bullshit, you understand? And it's like, they did the same shit in hip hop, but I blame these things too. I mean, I can't believe that when I get older, I realize that maybe, no, but in real life, our lives were already fucked up. You know what I mean? That's the real life, and these are things that kids run to. The reality is that the schools are fucked up, and it has to do. I don't think it has to do with this shit. This is like, for example, when I get on Warzone, you know, it's better than having war in real life, and it's better. But albeit some psychos might or might not get on that game. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't think that has anything to do with the game. Yeah, obviously, the people that play know it's. Matter of fact, gaming is for smart people, and that's not the only game there is. You know what I mean? So, but when it says sexually objectifying women, and you know, they're trying to say GTA and all that shit. I mean, they still have this discussion, you know, against like GTA. You know what I mean? But the point is that, you know, personally, nobody knew I played this game, and shit was happening before I ever played games. You know what I mean? Video games. I mean, I played video games about before I played, you know, like those Call of Duties or whatever bullshit y'all want to blame on. You know, life was just fucked up. No, it's not fucked up. It's not fucked up. It's just there was still violence and shit that I saw from kids. You know. So anyway, blah 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 blah. Women said that men were objectifying them and shit in video games, so they changed the video games. And they took out women's breasts in video games. They toned it down. They took away our free rights, and we couldn't say shit. We couldn't say nigga, or we couldn't say your fucking moms, bitch. You know what I mean? Or we couldn't say you old cunts. You know what I mean? Or whatever. I didn't do that. When it comes to gaming, I don't talk to like how I talk in normal life. The reason not why because it's my way to get away from reality. You know what I mean? It was the fantasy world that you get away from reality. That's why I play video games. You know what I mean? Because girls cheated on me and I decided to play video games. I couldn't have a girlfriend, right? You know what I mean? Even when I did have a girlfriend, I still play video games. Well, I don't know. Just to get away from, it's just a way to pass the time, get away from reality, you know? If you have a bad day and you're crying and shit, you know, when you're a kid, you know, then you just turn on the game. Sooner, a few minutes later, you're like, why is there tears on my face? It's all dried up and shit. And you're like, oh, what the? You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't care. You know what I mean? You just play video games. And so the point is, right? Yeah, I think it's really helpful. I think it's one of the few things that men have, you know, that when you're a kid, that helps your mental health. I mean, you know, if you don't have sports or some shit, especially if you live in the hood and you don't want to go outside. You know what I mean? So it's one of the few things that actually can keep your kid inside and away from trouble. You know what I mean? But, you know, it depends, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody has luxury. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, if you live in the hood, that's just how it is. So, with that being said, you know, women are full of shit. 10 years later, they're prostituting themselves. You know what I mean? Does that seem like men? Does that look like men's fault? Or they like? There's no way they could spend that now and say. I mean, you've heard these women, right? vehemently stand up for their whoring and for their sexually objectifying themselves. 10 years later, the shit they call the same shit that they were blaming men for sexually objectifying them. 10 years later, they call their own sexual objectification, objectifying of themselves, sexual liberation. You know what I'm saying? 10 years later, they call it sexual liberation while making men feel like monsters. So they made men feel like monsters for 10 years. You just turn around and slap us all in the fucking goddamn face. And many men obliged and were like, okay, we'll respect you. We'll respect you. We'll respect you. We got played. You understand what I'm saying? We got played. What it really was it was the whole, like they beat me intellectually and I'm a sore loser, I'm a cry about it. And they're gonna think I'm a little girl again. And then when they put their guard down, I'm gonna fucking kick him in the balls. Right? Or whatever bullshit, right? And that's what that was. You know, that the last 10 years, that's what it was. You know what I mean? The women wouldn't have ever gotten this upper hand that they're so proud of. You know what I mean? Because who the fuck is proud to be a whore? You know what I mean? That's y'all proud to be fucking whores. I wouldn't want to have no kids with you, no way. I mean, matter of fact, you bitches are evil. But the fact of the matter is that you're low quality ass bitches too. I mean, y'all not fine, and y'all ran through, and you fucking stink because you ran through, bitch. I mean, and so anyway, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They made me and all these guys that they're trying to make it feel like monsters. While 10 years later, they don't say shit about these girls that are prostituting themselves. And I have reason to believe that the reason why they did all this shit was so they could introduce people like Pokimane or Amarath and all these streamers, you know, and to take the money from all these broken down guys. And that's why guys are simps now, because they were made to be simps. You understand what I'm saying? Other women made them feel like monsters, to the point that these guys actually were feeling sorry for you bitches. But y'all, but it was a lie. You know what I mean? It was a lie. You know, at the end of the day, you know, women shouldn't be listened to. And like, you know, it's just like how I took a bitch back, even though I knew she was a slut and I knew that she was no. Yo sabía que era pendeja, no sabía que era puta también. I mean, I knew she was a dumbass. I didn't know she was a fucking slut too. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a mistake. You should have never done it. I should have never taken it back. Neither should have men have entertained feminism, not even for a season. I mean, because it's un-American to take away our freedom of speech, you know, and our right to assembly. You know what I mean? Which is pretty much what the fuck they did. Cyber, if the cyberspace had fucking rights. So the fact that it doesn't have rights, then why the fuck are they trying to throw their propaganda to us? You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why are they trying to shove their propaganda and talk about, all this shit if they don't if we don't have rights in there? It's the wild, wild west. So fuck you. Woo! No, because you know why? Because women were the first to strike a deal with the globalists. And they were the first to strike a deal to try to, you know, get the worldwide fucking market. You know what I mean? The overseas market. It was women with feminism. The last wave of feminism introduced so much globalistic fucking shit in Star Wars. You know what I mean? And in other fucking shit that is just preposterous. You know what I mean? The New World Order. Fucking bitches, fucking, they did us dirty. Even as an American, right? I gotta feel a little bit. I don't know how to feel anymore. You know what I mean? Even because I you know, as a Salvadorian or an American, right? You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. Not even these niggas got their bitches in check no more. Actually, the bitches did them dirty and said that they'd go fuck the whole damn the rest of the world. They gave y'all up. You know what I mean? They stabbed you in the back. You know what I mean? That's fucked. They made you look like a bitch in front of the whole entire wide world. You know what I mean? Like, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Shit for bitches that they don't even know. talking about they're feminists, talking about we're doing this for women everywhere, for fucking hoes they don't even fucking get along with. You know what I mean? For other bitches that they don't even get along with. Holy fucking shit. Oh man. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm a feminist. We're doing this for women everywhere. It's like, do these bitches have? Do they know what it's like to hang around with a whore? Do they know what it's like to like what a whore does in a relationship? Like, you know, do they know one personally to understand the type of shit that they do? You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid for y'all to defend women like this, and it's stupid for you to like go to a guy and say that he's a misogynist if he says that he hates whores or that he hates bitches. Or like if I say my fucking ex is a bitch and you call me a misogynist because of that. You know what I mean? You don't know my ex, right? You stop trying to fucking judge me, you fucking little bitches trying to call me a weirdo. Stop projecting, okay? Stop trying to motherfucking see shit that isn't there. Stop trying to motherfucking what's the word? Stop trying to incriminate me. You know what I mean? Stop trying to motherfucking what's it called? It's I don't know what to name it, bro. It's like stop trying to corner me. It's like I look at it like this. You're trying to scare a lab rat to go this way, which leads to death. Because he's like in a maze, and you're trying to make him go one way because you're trying to say, oh, he's a misogynist. You're trying to imply my destruction. So, you know what I would say to that? Fuck you, you fucking cunt, and suck my dick. You know what I mean? Fucking bitches. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because so many men have had their liberty taken away because of these stupid fucking witch hunts and shit like that. Just because bitches can't take the reality that they're a bunch of hoes. Nah, seriously, like bitches can't fucking admit that they're hoes. I mean, y'all have let women weasel by for so long. You know what I mean? That y'all forget that these bitches ain't shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? y'all let women weasel by. All you niggas that let y'all motherfucking, all you dudes that your ex cheated on you and you didn't even smack that hoe, I would have smacked the taste out of fucking mouth. But I didn't have kids with them. So I didn't have kids with those motherfucking hoes. I mean, but if you would have smacked one good fucking smack across the goddamn face, like boom, bitch, like Batman, you know, smacked Robin. Batman even smacked Robin. You can't smack that cheating whore. I'm just playing. Don't beat up that bitch. But if she beats you up, right, nobody says anything. If she tries to slap you, nobody says a damn thing. You know what I mean? Nah, dude. You know, the reality is that bitches are whores. You know what I mean? Bitches ain't shit, bro. You know what I mean? The only type of woman that's worth a damn is a woman that's ready to... only woman that's high quality is a woman that's ready to instill character to her child. So, in order to that, she has to... You know, any woman that's ready to instill character to her child, you know, that's a woman that is high value. But a woman that wants to abort her kid, she ain't shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A woman, like, trying to do the opposite of that is trying to abort her kids. That's the worst type of woman there is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And for me, that's how I'll forever know some of these bitches. And for some of you motherfucking bitches out there, some of you dudes, women's out there, your wives, some other dude knows her as a fucking low ass quality chick that she really is. You know what I mean? And the most girls that are ready to have kids and that are ready to instill character in their kids and are fucking excited and proud and they want it, they do it. And they do it when they're fucking 18 or 19 or 20 years old. They don't wait till they're fucking 30 to fucking do it. You understand what I'm saying? So, fuck you motherfucking hoes. You know what I mean? They do it with the first guy that they get married with. The first guy, they get married before they do it. And they get married with their first boyfriend. And they actually wait until they get married. They're virgin until they get married. You know what I mean? Maybe one boyfriend. Maybe, you know, whatever. But they're religious, they're family oriented, and they get married with their entire family. That's any woman. That's the woman. Any woman that does those things is worth a damn. That's worthy of being called a high quality woman. All you other motherfucking bitches need to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because just because you fall short of that, you know what I mean? Shut the fuck up and just realize that we're all gonna die. You know what I mean? And so why do y'all keep lying to the next generation? Trying to fucking, just because you don't want to tell them that you're a whore? You know what I mean? For fuck's sake. I mean, I can admit that I drink. I can admit that I fucked stupid bitches. And I can admit that I was, that I'm not perfect, right? Why the fuck you bitches can't admit that? You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all can't admit that y'all some motherfucking hoes. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta lie and shit and try to bring everybody down with you. I never try to do that shit. You know what I mean? That's what shit I don't like. You know what I mean? Is to try to like bring everybody down to my level and shit. No, I might be good at it. I don't know. I never used to talk. I never used to say shit for 10 fucking years. I never said shit about nothing. It was just like the floodgates were open and nothing was stopping. I didn't stop it, but I closed that shit. And I'm closing it, you know what I mean? But too many people stood idly by and let the floodgates go open. That's why they're pacifists. That's why shit is happening that's fucked up. Because the only thing for evil to prevail, the only thing that it needs for evil to prevail is for good men to stand by and do nothing. Right? So if you want more perverted generations and more whores and more destruction, more men who are totally normal but can't get laid, who are made to feel like animals, and then fucking women that are whores and prostitutes that trying to act like they're good women and high quality, trying to get married to 25, 30, bitch. You know what I mean? And then y'all trying to pervert young innocent women into becoming whores just like that. I mean, and other shit, leading to more violence, more fucked up shit. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is just stand by and watch the world crumble. You know what I mean? Because that's what the fuck people, that's what's happened. I mean, but the best thing you can do, right, is just instill it to your children. I mean, and be a practicer yourself, if you feel me, and help those that need help. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like help couples stay together. You know what I mean? Be friends with them or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Connect, talk, be nice to one another. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Check in with your homies check in with not your homie, your friend, check in with your friend every now and then. You know what I mean? Just to see how they're doing. I mean, that shit goes a long way. A smile goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? But you see, the only reason that men think about pussy 24/7 is because we need it, and when we don't have it, it just gets to a point that that's the only thing that we want. Like nothing, literally, at one point or another, not for me. Look, this is the type of man I am. Nothing for me. Nothing mattered for me more than pussy. You know what I mean? Like nothing matters without pussy. Nothing matters without. You know what I mean? That once you have pussy, right? Like what I mean to say is not that you can't go through life without sex. I'm just saying that when I got off of sex, you know what I mean, when this bitch left me and shit, and I didn't want to get with another bitch because I was feeling emotions that I like that weren't gonna get satisfied with just sex. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I don't know, man. It was just like I wanted something deeper than sex. Wow. No, I'm not a shallow devil. This bitch is trying to act like she's like me or some shit. I mean, so anyway, right? Like, all I could think about was sex. And at one point in my life, I only think about sex, bro. I think about sex all the time, bro. Like, I have a hit list of girls that I want to have sex with. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that shit, I want to, I like women. I adore women, and I think they are, but I don't respect them. I don't respect bitches that. But that's just like one part of me. Like, how do I say this shit? I want a freak. I want a lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed, and the freak in the sheets, but a lady in the streets. I want a wifey or lifey, but that doesn't stab me in the fucking back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it doesn't fuck somebody else. I don't know how to explain it, guys. The point is that at one point, all I thought about was sex, and nothing really mattered, you know, more than that. You know what I mean? Not even life. I was just like, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to sleep, I didn't want to drink, I didn't want to fucking do nothing but have sex, and I was fucking just trying to have sex. You know what I mean? Like, even when I was not trying to have sex. I was trying to trying to get laid. That's the only thing I could think about. It literally consumed me. It's like, I don't know, it's lust. You know, it's lust, it's sin. You know, and it's really fucked up. But it's just so much like energy out there that when you have, but that's when I first got off sex. Like when I was having sex for like 5 years. When this bitch cheated, she fucking went to go have sex with some other dude, but I didn't. I didn't go have sex with some other chick. So I was like, you know, stuck in that situation. Like fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I like, let me try not to think about sex. Let me just get over this shit, because I had to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit. Like I crashed my car, you know what I mean? You know, I was in debt. I lost my job, you know. I lost my partidos and shit, my papers and shit. I was all fucked up, and I didn't have no job, I didn't have no money, I didn't have no phone, I didn't have no friends, I didn't have fucking job, I didn't have a car, I lost my license for 8 years, all this bullshit. I was like, fuck, you know, all at once too. And my girlfriend, and you know, I wanted to fight and settle this beef that I have with this bitch ass Mexican. That's the only reason they did that, is because they're racist. Because they're racist, man. That's why I'll never forget them. You know what I mean? Because at the very, like, because of her, it's like she betrayed me for them, and then they all try to like kill me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because of my weakness. They exploited my weakness, and I wouldn't have been in that situation vulnerable at all, you know, in any fucking at all. Like, I wouldn't have been caught slipping if it wasn't because of that bitch. If it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't have been caught slipping. You know what I mean? And shit, and she made me soft. You know what I mean? And she kept me in the dark. She lied to me. You know, she motherfucking she fucking lied to me and shit. So yeah, dude. It's like fucking very serious, and you know, I like at one point I was like, all I need to do is have sex, you know, and then everything will be alright. And I can't believe, because that's how she had me. She had me like a motherfucking numbskull. You know what I mean? Like, she had me like a numbskull. I realized that's what happens, guys. When you take a bitch back, right? The reason I felt like that was because I remember that I was pissed off, and it didn't subside. And the only reason I was pissed off, I've been pissed off for years, and the only reason, you know, I'm saying that I hadn't really felt what I really felt was because she kept having sex with me, and I kept busting nuts, and then I was just a numbskull, you know what I mean? And but I realized that I really had real problems, you know, and it was because of her. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hate that bitch. I wish I never would have met that bitch. I mean, I wish that bitch had never, you know, that her fucking cousin that lives like down the street, literally, in my neighborhood, wouldn't have motherfucking ever presented that little bitch to me. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. You know what I mean? I never met a faker ass bitch than that. I met a lot of scumbags in my life, right? I went out with single mothers that you know, I had one night stands with single mothers, and those bitches, they're just fucking bitches, you know. Those bitches, you know what the problem is? They didn't like me. That's why they let me have sex. Because they didn't actually like me. See, when a girl likes somebody, guys, this is the truth. This is the shit. This is why bitches ain't shit. This is why they're horse. Because when a girl motherfucking likes you, no, when a girl doesn't like you, she'll have sex with you. You know what I mean? But when a girl likes you, she will make you play. She'll play hard to get, because she wants you to believe, to look at her like the nice girl. She wants you to look at her like you. She wants you to look at her like the good girl if she actually likes you, right? She wants you to look at her like the good girl. But you know what? That girl that you like that's making it fucking hell for you to have sex with her is having sex with other dudes for nothing. That's the motherfucking truth. I mean, that's the motherfucking truth about these bitches in America, in the United States, about all these motherfucking whores. I mean, that is what these bitches are. I mean, while they're trying to play hard to get for you, the guy that the woman that the guy that you like her, and that she likes you or whatever, that she likes you, because it doesn't matter how you feel, it matters how she feels, right? The only thing that she wants you to do is look at her like the good girl. And like I said, if she likes you, she'll play hard to get. And she'll make it living hell for you to get. But while she's making it hard for you, she's having sex with other guys. And that's a guarantee. You know what I mean? Because she ain't having sex with you. And you know these bitches they ain't waiting for marriage. So, you know what I mean? Because, you know why? Because they have a high sex drive. Quote, unquote, some stupid whore. I mean. So, literally the best thing, like I said, that's why I tell incels, like, you know, fuck that shit. You know, if I could go back, nigga, just get in your career, bruh. Fuck that shit, nigga. Fucking do what you were gonna do, nigga. Become that engineer or whatever the fuck you wanted to become. You know what I mean? Because fuck these bitches, man. Spend your time doing that shit. You will appreciate that more than trying to chase these fucking whores to end up with jack shit after 10 years. I mean, you will literally appreciate yourself. In 10 years, you know what you can accomplish? I wasted 10 years. I'm back at square one than where I was 10 years ago. But you know what I wasted, what I learned 10 years? I don't got jack shit to show for it. You know what I mean? Except experience. And except, you know, maybe some knowledge. But I could have gotten way more knowledge. So I'm not even going to count that shit. I'm talking about in 10 years, you could have changed your entire life. You could become a millionaire. You could have a career that you enjoy. You could have traveled the world. You could have, you know, you could have done anything, a number of things. You know what I mean? You could have paid off a house, you know, in 10 years. You know what I mean? You could have motherfucking, like, you know, you know what I'm saying? You could have done a lot of things. You could have tried to become a fucking actor or actress or modeling and land your breakout gig. You know what I mean? You could have done a number of things, and yet I chose to waste it on motherfucking trying to start a fucking family with a bitch. Knowing damn well that at 15 years old, I knew that was never going to be possible. Because bitches ain't shit. I mean, it's fucking insane, bro. I knew for me it wasn't going to be possible because the girl I liked, I realized she didn't like me, and I'm like, why? And I realized it's because I'm poor. So I realized that that's always going to be a factor with these fucking prostitutes that y'all call fucking feminists, that y'all call fucking American chicks. I mean, they're fucking prostitutes, bro. All they want is money. And it's this false sense of fucking reality that they try to tell you. You know, like if that's a factor, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Look, at the end of the fucking day, okay, you're not having to fucking starve and fucking go through the wilderness, okay? This is a fucking civilized country, you fucking bitch. And on top of that shit, you have to pay taxes. You got your own job, and you pay taxes just like me, okay? Don't give me that shit that I have to have all this money and pay all this shit for you. You stupid fuck. We're both citizens. You see, these bitches aren't even mature to look at you as their equal. You know? Why do bitches say that equality and then they expect the man to do everything? I mean, why don't these bitches take you out on a fucking date? Or pay for you? You know what I mean? Why don't they fucking pay your dinner? Because they wanna, oh no, because the traditional shit. Well, you ain't a traditional bitch. I mean, shit. If you were traditional, you would have been a virgin till you got married. But that ain't the truth, right? And then you would have stayed married with your first guy that you had sex with, and with your first baby daddy, instead of fucking being proud to be a whore, proud of being a dumbass. You know what I mean? So anyway, you know what I mean? Whatever. I guess you don't care about you like never had hopes and dreams when you were a little kid, right? You were an innocent little kid. You know, you didn't love your parents and shit. Your parents never loved you and shit. That's probably why you want to do that shit to your kid. I mean, you don't want your kids to have the love of both their parents either. Very selfish. You know what I mean? Yeah, fucking whore. Anyway, I'm not a fucking look. I've never fucking slapped a bitch. Okay, I mean the closest thing that I have ever been like a pimp is when I kicked my girl out for fucking talking shit about my brother. Okay, yeah, I kicked her out of my house when she slapped me. She actually slapped me, and she was talking shit about my brother. So I said, "Get the fuck out of my house, bitch." You know what I mean, and I kicked her out of my house. Okay, and she was out there by herself, half naked. No, I'm playing. But if she would have been half naked out there by herself, and I mean, that's the closest thing that I've done to pimping a trick. You know what I mean? Or pimping a bitch. You know what I mean? So, fuck that shit. So yeah, that's how it is. That's how. So don't get shit fucked up, man. Because you bitches ain't shit. That's why you shouldn't feel bad, bro. They try to make you feel bad, but like, no. It's not about their shame and shit. It's about not doing something stupid that is gonna cost you your whole future. You know what I mean? Over some bitch that's not gonna even appreciate you and never gonna do shit for you. That'll fucking that's what it's about. There's too many fucking people fucking ruining their lives, bro. That I'm losing, that the world's becoming a worse place. I see, you know what I mean? Where y'all respect whores and fucking gigolos and or fuck niggas and shit, fuck boys, male prostitutes. There's female prostitutes and then there's male prostitutes. And y'all respect them more than y'all respect normal people. It's just insane. The world's becoming a worse fucking place. Hopefully, after all this shit, it gets better. Once they see that all these motherfuckers are fucking stupid as fucking shit. I mean, maybe then it'll get better. But at the same time, I don't want to fucking be part of that shit. I mean, can you imagine being with a bitch that fucking sleeps with you because she doesn't like you, even though she has a kid, and then she cheats on you, does an abortion, and all that shit, and cheats on you all in the span of a minute or two? Oh, wait, that actually happened. My bad. After she met your fucking parents, and after she met your family, and then she's cheating on you, she's like, what? I don't know, what do you mean? What? Like you didn't meet my fucking family? Why do bitches act like they want to meet your family, and then after they do, then bitches be cheating? And then don't got shit to say then, right? Fucking stupid hoes. You know what I mean? Why the fuck are these bitches just disingenuous? I mean, I've had 3 bitches, fucking all named Marie, Mary, whatever, fucking bullshit. And they all have a biblical name. 2 of them have kids already. One of them was supposedly a virgin. So there's a bit of variety. Got a white girl, a Nicaraguan, and a Mexican. And all them bitches, motherfucking, have met my parents. All of them fucking met my parents. All 3 of them met my parents at one point or another in my life. And all them bitches, motherfucking, cheated and ghosted me. I mean, after the fact. So I was like, bruh, the fuck is wrong with bitches named Marie? I mean, I don't fucking understand. And the fact is that it's not the fact that we broke up. People be like, oh, these bitches, man, they be like, oh, why are you crying? She must have hurt you more. They say shit like, it must be because we broke up and then I miss her. No, nigga. I don't give a fuck, bro. She's just a fucking hoe. You know what the problem is that fucking hoe weaseled her way and didn't have no. She called me crazy, said all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? And yet, she probably talked to my enemies. She probably snitched on me or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Lord forbid that she fucking said some shit about me to some other guy. But you know, whatever the case may be, she is the fact that she was so immature. These bitches were immature. They cheated and they never repented. They ghosted me, which means they just stopped talking to me. I mean, which means that they acted like I was dead. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They acted like I was dead from when they fucked the other dude. They wished I was dead. That I didn't have to fucking, that they wouldn't have to explain themselves to me. You know what I mean? That's what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? That these bitches fucking wish that I was dead so they wouldn't have to explain their cheating and their shit after they fucked that piece of shit. You know what I mean? That one night she cheated on me. You know what I mean? And they never could look at me again in the face and well, actually no, the last bitch could. That bitch looked at my face for 5 months and watched me lose everything before letting the guy call me and tell me that he was fucking her. It was like, and then when I look at that shit, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, it must have been a fucking radio station or something, right? Trying to play a prank on me. Because, you know, that shit happens on YouTube, all these fucking stupid narcissistic people. You know what I mean? They like to play with people's emotions. And